Most of the events of Dragon Ball go the exact same, except a few things. Kid Goku had his tail at all times, it was never removed, and he actually was a little bit stronger than usual, and his potential was a little bit higher. But most of the events of Dragon Ball would happen the exact same, with King Piccolo and more. Now, but once when Goku would fight Piccolo Jr. in the Tenkaichi Budokai, this is where a lot of things change. Goku in the original was stated to be around 345, and Piccolo was around 325 or 330. They're pretty much equal. But since Goku here has a higher potential, plus a higher base power level with his tail, I'm going to say, especially with Kami training and more, and the Ultra Divine Water, I'm going to say that his power level is at 600 instead of 345, meaning he would beat Piccolo pretty easily in their fight. But Goku would let Piccolo live, since Kami needs it to survive, because as you all may know, if Piccolo dies, Kami dies. If Kami dies, then Piccolo dies, as they are one being just split into two. And when Kami dies, they lose the Dragon Balls. Once when Goku saves Piccolo's life, Piccolo would leave, saying that he will come back to face him again, he'll be more ready, and he will take over the Earth. Goku would still have his promise, and yes, Goku would still marry Chi-Chi, and they would have Gohan. Now, once when Raditz arrives, 5 years later, Goku has some training. Piccolo's a little stronger as well, since he has a higher goal to reach. I would actually say that Piccolo's power level, for what it purposes, is going to be around 525. That seems fair. Now, Goku with some training, but taking care of Gohan most of the time, he would have go from 600 to around 850. Which would make sense, it's been 5 years, and Goku would still keep on training. Raditz was obviously still far superior, he would still knock out Goku and take Gohan. So, Piccolo and Goku will go save him. Now, the fight would actually be a little bit different here. Goku knows of Raditz and his weakness, but Raditz would still trick him and knock him out. That would still happen where he tries to grab his tail. Now, Goku, I feel like training with Kami and more, would learn to not have that bother him anymore, to where when you grab a Saiyan's tail, it doesn't make them paralyzed or anything like that. As when Goku even fought Grandpa Gohan when he was basically when he was dead, Grandpa Gohan said, "You still have not practiced your greatest weakness as your tail," which I feel like Goku would take that in consideration since he still has it to make sure he has no weaknesses with his tail. But Raditz would still trick him because Goku is very naive and he also has a good heart. He believed that Raditz would change even though Piccolo was screaming at him telling him not to let him go. So all that would happen the exact same. Gohan would still burst out of the space pod and severely injure Raditz, and Goku would still grab onto Raditz and tell Piccolo to shoot the special beam cannon, and it would still kill Raditz and Goku. So Goku would still arrive on Snake Way, and he would actually arrive there a little bit faster, actually a lot faster, since he's almost 2 to 3 times stronger than he is in the original. Not to mention, he's 2 to 3 times faster, he's 2 to 3 times more endurance, so he can get there a lot more quicker than before. I would say probably about a month early. He would arrive a little bit like a month early. So he would have an extra month of training with King Kai. But still, Raditz would be gone. And so Vegeta and Nappa would overhear the conversation about the Dragon Balls. So they would still want to arrive to Earth to see what they can do about that. But now, since he would get to King Kai's role to live faster, I would say he would get an extra month of training. Now, for that extra month, Goku would learn Kaioken and the Spirit Bomb. He would actually have an extra month to hone those two skills more, being much better than the original. And the rest of the year, Goku would practice to control his Great Ape state, with King Kai as his teacher, as King Kai knows that this is a final trump card in case anything happens. But you never know, and King Kai states this is the hone of all Saiyan power, is the Great Ape state, and you don't know when it can save you. And Goku understands. It was grueling mental training, but Goku can somewhat control the Great Ape form to where he's not just killing everything, but he can aim. He can aim the Great Ape form. And as the year went on, he would actually be able to pretty much completely control the form. And especially with Goku with his potential, I feel like it is very plausible that he could. So now, Piccolo and Gohan. The exact same training, the exact same meeting, everything, all that happens the same. Now, Piccolo is actually a little bit stronger. And because of that, Gohan is a little bit stronger as well. Piccolo was around 3,200, 3,300, and Nappa was around 5,000, nearly 6,000. I would say that Piccolo is around 5,500. And he would actually put up a really good fight against Nappa. Remember, Piccolo has been pushing his limits a lot more, considering that Goku is his rival and he has a higher goal to reach. Piccolo has been really slept on with his potential. Piccolo can do anything. And currently now, he's caught up with all the other guys. And especially in his Orange Piccolo form, he can definitely take on Goku and Vegeta. Maybe not beat them, but he can definitely hold his own, or maybe even do more. But now, the same thing would happen, though. He would have an intense battle with Nappa. Very close. Nappa would still have the upper hand a little bit, but Piccolo would damage him pretty badly. Now, Vegeta notes that this Namekian is really powerful. A lot more powerful than the other Namekians he's seen before. But now, Nappa, as a final resort, would still try to kill Gohan, where Piccolo would be able to get to him in time and risk his life and save Gohan. But Piccolo would pass. Because of that, Goku would still arrive, and remember, Kami's gone. The Dragon Balls are gone. Yamcha would still die. Tien would still die. Chaozu would still die. So a lot of the Z fighters are still gone. Yajirobe is the GOAT, so he's still alive, of course, because he's the main antagonist of the entire thing. But now Piccolo's gone as well, leaving just Gohan and Krillin. Luckily, Goku would arrive, and Goku would make very quick work of Nappa. Very quick work. And he would break his back even without using Kaioken because he would reach it in time. Now, Vegeta would actually still kill Nappa, throwing him into the air, shooting a beam, saying he's worthless to him anyway. And then, this is where Goku has his battle. But now, when Goku had a power level around 420 to 430 when he fought Raditz in the original, when he went to King Kai, after King Kai, he was around 8,000. That's about an 18 times increase in power. Nearly a 19. So, in this what if, Goku had a power level of 800. After King Kai training an extra month as well, I put Goku at a power level of around 15,000. He would battle Vegeta, and he would do a lot better against him, as he would use Kaioken times 2, and he would easily overpower Vegeta. How is this possible? Well, very simple. Vegeta at his maximum power had a power level around 18,000. Goku, even using Kaioken times 2, had a power level of 30,000. He would easily overpower Vegeta, way worse than he did in Kaioken times 3. Vegeta does not stand much of a chance. So, Vegeta would try to use his Gallic Gun attack, which Goku would actually have to use Kaioken times 3 as a little burst to overpower Vegeta's blast. He would shoot him into the sky. As Vegeta would then look around, he was confused. He didn't know what to do, as he does not see the moon. As he thinks, well, if I can turn into a Great Ape, I can get him. But he also remembers that Goku has a tail, which is very troublesome, but Vegeta doesn't have much of a choice, as there's nothing else that he can do. But Vegeta hopes that this Saiyan is a low class. That means that he cannot control his Great Ape state. And Vegeta is stronger, so he can fully control, he can take down Goku by removing the tail since he has full control in his form. He thinks that's the best option that I got. He doesn't see a moon, so he would have to spawn a fake moon and throw it. As he would transform, Goku was shocked, but he actually does try to battle Vegeta in base form, but to no avail. He was too powerful, so Goku does not have a choice. He tells Krillin and Gohan to get as far away from here as possible, in case anything happens. Goku would actually have one last senzu bean left, and he would eat it. Because remember, Goku was pretty badly drained from using Kaioken times 3 in that little burst. He would be back to full power, even getting a little Zenkai because of it, and he would look at the moon, and he would transform into a Great Ape. The two apes would be fighting and clashing blows. Goku would actually be in full control, as Vegeta would charge a massive mouth blast. Goku would do something that we've never seen before in a what if, I believe. Goku would then roar, as then the blue aura would surround the Great Ape, but then it turns red. Again, Goku would blitz behind Vegeta and rip his tail off. Goku used Kaioken times 2 in his Great Ape state. How is it possible? Because it's a what if. And it's awesome. But it was only for a brief moment. A very brief moment. And he was able to hold the power anyway because of how big he was. And not to mention, he's a Great Ape. But now, he ripped his tail off, as Vegeta would then de-transform. The fake moon would disappear. Goku would then revert. His pants were in torn rags and tattered. It was still covering him a little bit, so let's not have any nudity here. But Goku was beyond exhausted. He was barely able to stand. He would be shocked seeing that Vegeta was standing up. They would then have a fight. It was a fight of willpower. Both were completely exhausted, training blows, as Vegeta was nothing to do. Vegeta would then grab his tail and surprise Goku as he would throw him into a wall. Goku was out of energy. He couldn't even stand up. Using that Kaioken in the Great Ape state was an idiotic idea, but it was the only choice. Before he could finish him off, Yajirobe would slice his back and he would fall over. Yajirobe saved Goku's life. Now Vegeta would not have any option. He would try and call his ship and he would try to crawl away. He would get inside of it, but right before he does, Krillin was about to kill him with a ki blast. But Goku yells at him saying, "Don't, let him go, because I want to be able to face him on my own one day." Krillin understands, and he would let Vegeta go. Vegeta would escape, and now Goku would actually recover a lot more faster in the hospital. Since his entire body was not destroyed, they would still go to Namek. Now, Goku would wait behind as he can train in the gravity room. As the others would arrive on Namek, the exact same story happens. Nothing crazy until Goku lands. After a week to fight the Ginyu Force, his power level would be a lot higher than it was before. As in the original, it was 90,000 when he landed. From having a power level of 8,000, that's pretty impressive. That's a 12 times increase. So add the fact that Goku had a power level of nearly 16,000, brings it to, plus add for the higher potential, 192,000 for base form. But, adding his higher potential, I would say 200,000 even. Just to even it out. Now when he fights Ginyu, he would actually still get his body stolen because Ginyu, not even with Scouter, can see how powerful Goku is. But the issue was, Ginyu cannot use his body. He's not used to it at all. It was giving Vegeta the chance to beat him down, to make Ginyu try to swap bodies with him once more, and Goku would get his body back. Now Goku was still injured, and he was placed in the healing chamber. Now the fights between Frieza and the Z fighters would pretty much do the exact same. Nothing crazy, nothing crazy. The only thing is that Piccolo would be a little bit stronger when he fused with Nail, and Vegeta's a little bit stronger, and the other guys are a little bit stronger, but against Frieza, it's not much of a crazy difference. Piccolo would handle himself a tiny bit better against third form Frieza, but that's about it. And Vegeta would do a little bit better against final form Frieza, but he would still be killed, so that doesn't really change anything. This is where a lot of things change. Now, when Goku awakens, in the original, he got a 33 times increase in strength. From 90,000 to 3 million, which is crazy. I mean, it is for plot, so he can be able to beat Frieza because of how high they made him. Now, if we add the 33 times, I'm just going to even it out to 7 million. To battle Frieza. Now, the two would clash. Goku was holding his own a lot better against Frieza, but most of the fighting would happen the same until he uses Kaioken. Even Kaioken times 10 will boost his power level to 70 million. He would do a lot more damage against Frieza, and he would then stream and push it further, using Kaioken times 20. And he would use the Kaioken times 20 Kamehameha attack, boosting his power level to 140 million. Pretty much almost as strong as his Super Saiyan state. And the blast would actually nearly kill Frieza, who everybody thinks that he died because they couldn't sense his energy. But he survived, and he was pissed. He had a death ball as he threw it at Namek, as it was going to blow up in 5 minutes. Goku would tell everyone they need to get out of here now. Now Frieza would actually nearly kill Piccolo, shooting with the death beam, and then he would destroy Krillin, as he was going to kill his son Gohan, but before he could, Goku would snap and transform into the Super Saiyan of Legends for the final Frieza battle. He told Frieza that he is truly angry and he will make him suffer, as his friends have, and everyone else that Frieza has destroyed. Now Frieza will go right into his full power to survive. As Goku would charge his aura, he would go into beating down the Emperor with pure hatred and malice. As Namek was starting to grow red and lava flowed everywhere, Frieza was running and hiding from the sand. Frieza was running out of options. He tried blowing up the planet, but remember, he was afraid to. And not to mention, everything that he's been trying has done absolutely zero damage to Goku. Frieza in this scenario has zero chance against this version of Goku. Zero. He cannot injure Goku in the slightest. Even when Goku had a power level 150, he was able to hold his own against Frieza and defeat him. Now imagine if he's way more powerful than that. Frieza does not have a chance. But now Frieza does have one idea. Maybe he can get him off guard. So Frieza tries to hold in his power, and then he'll appear out of nowhere, and he throws a Destruction Disc, or a Destructo Disc. He would throw it right at Goku, but then Goku would turn instantly and catches the disc. Frieza was in utter shock, as Goku would then crush it. As Frieza would then throw more, Goku would easily dodge them, as then Goku would destroy it, but the last one, he would grab it and throw it right back at Frieza, and it would cut him in half. Frieza would then collapse and beg for mercy. But then Goku, this version of Goku is a little bit more wild. He does not give Frieza energy at all. He tells him to suffer the same fate as his planet, as he thinks that Frieza, he's not a murderer like Frieza. Frieza's pretty much can't hurt him at all now. He's cut in half and he's probably dying. So, but before he does though, he would tell Frieza that if he ever sees his face again, he will kill him. And he then flies off, leaving Frieza at his fate. Now Frieza would actually die when the planet explodes. The reason why is because of how damaged he is. Frieza's a lot more injured, way more injured than the original, and he's cut in half as well. Goku never gave him energy, so Frieza was barely hanging on by a thread. Frieza has no chance. His fate is sealed with Planet Namek. But now Goku, as time was running out, Planet Namek was just about to explode. Goku would rush into Frieza's ship, because in this what if, I'm having it to where Vegeta does not actually completely destroy the ship. He does not blow a hole in the ship, and the ship can actually work. So, Goku would escape in the ship, just in time, barely escaping Namek. But now, Goku would then fall asleep, as he would then wake up, heading into a very hazy and dark and just very gloomy, destroyed planet. It was almost unlivable. It was very dangerous. It was wasteland. And then he would crash, as he would then come out of the space pod, just joking, Frieza's spaceship, extremely exhausted. He ran out of energy very quickly, and he collapsed. But as before he faded out, he sees a man walking towards him, an older looking man, as he would tell his son to go grab this Saiyan. Goku would then awaken, as he was laying on a rock, in a cave? But then he would look over, and he would see this man, just kind of curiously staring at him. Now Goku would kind of think it's a little bit weird, but Goku was nursed back to health, and who else was it? It was Broly and Paragus. This version of Paragus never had gray hair because he's not that old yet. Paragus would tell Goku who he is and who his son is. They're Saiyans. Now Goku could pretty much tell from the tails, only Broly never had one. Now Paragus should tell he was a Saiyan as well from the tail, and he wonders, what is he doing here and why is he on Frieza's ship? Goku would actually explain what happened on Namek and everything else, and that he actually beat Frieza. This shocked Paragus that Goku was able to defeat the mighty Frieza. Now Broly doesn't know what a Frieza is, and Paragus excuses his son, that his son's a very shy boy. Now this Broly is young as well, very similar to Goku's age, and he's very curious, as he'd never really seen another Saiyan before, only his father. But now, Goku would be really confused, but he needs to grub as he's very hungry. Broly would then offer an insect bug that he ate, which Goku doesn't really like the taste of it, but he's so hungry that he doesn't have a choice. And Paragus says, well, the ship is pretty badly damaged from your narrow escape from Namek, it seems. Not to mention how you landed as well. But Paragus can actually repair the ship, but it would take almost a year to repair the ship. As luckily, the two other space pods that Paragus arrived in, and his friend, and also Broly, they can use those in the equipment that is in there to kind of repair the ship. Luckily, the ship also has repair systems, but since they're damaged as well, it will take a very long time to do so. But Goku's not worried about it, as Goku was more interested in Broly. He sees that Broly has a lot of untapped potential. It's almost like an iceberg. Now, time would go on, Goku and Broly would actually become really good friends. Goku would actually teach Broly, surprisingly, a lot more better English, and he would actually start training with Broly. Now, Paragus really kept a good eye on Broly, just because Broly is very iffy, especially when he gets more power up, and he gets upset, his power rises. But luckily, Paragus does have that shock collar that he put on Broly to keep him calm. Goku doesn't agree with this, but it's not his son, and it's not his choice, so he has no say in that. The first thing Goku wants to do is Goku wants to learn to control his Super Saiyan ability. And Goku actually does practice, and he actually learns to control his Super Saiyan form actually a lot more faster than the original. The reason why is I want the Saiyan tail to be very special. When a Saiyan has the Saiyan tail, they unlock their full potential, and they can master their Super Saiyan forms a lot faster, and they can also hold off the forms a lot easier. Such as if Goku had Super Saiyan 3 with the tail. In his adult body, if he trained, he can actually master Super Saiyan 3. To where it doesn't have that massive drain injury that always happens to Goku. So he can master his forms a lot easier. That would make the tail a lot more special and a lot more interesting in a lot of ways. So Goku would begin training, and he would very quickly learn how to control Super Saiyan. He never fully mastered it, but he can go in and out of the form and control the power pretty well now. Now he can also keep his emotions in check. That was a bit more difficult to do in the original, because the Saiyan tail increases a Saiyan's attitude. But he learns to control it, and he's learning to master this power. Now Broly was very interested in this Super Saiyan. Now Goku thinks, hey, Broly can become a Super Saiyan too. It'll be an awesome fight. But Paragus instantly tells him no, because his son can lose control and go crazy. Goku understands this. But then, a problem. Frieza's men follow the spaceship. And it wasn't just Frieza's men. It was Cooler's men. Cooler found out about his brother's death on Namek, as he couldn't find the remains anywhere. Now Frieza's father, obviously, is worried about it, but he doesn't want to get his hands dirty. So why not send his brother out to go do the work for him? So Cooler would, not because he cares about Frieza, but because he tainted the Arcosian name, or the Frieza's clan name. So he would arrive to planet Vampa following Frieza's spaceship because they know the same went on there from data that they've collected. And not to mention, Goku is actually a little bit more stronger because he has the healing chambers. Frieza's spaceship has healing chambers that Goku can use. So whenever Goku would do intense training and be very injured, he can always go in there and get healed. So Goku has gotten a little bit more powerful since then. Now, as for Broly, Goku has actually trained with Broly in secret. But he knows that Paragus said not to train with him too roughly because Broly might lose his temper. So Goku completely understands that. But then now Goku senses that Cooler has arrived in another ship and tons of men. Cooler wants to fight Goku first off. He doesn't care about Paragus or that other Saiyan. He wants to fight the Super Saiyan, which Goku would agree. Now Broly would actually go fight all the other Frieza soldiers pretty much with ease. And Broly's power was rising as he was fighting these members, as he hasn't fought anyone else other than Goku a little bit in base form, and his father here and there. So Broly's actually learning to control his power, and his power is actually rising and rising and rising in base form. Now Goku, who was fighting Cooler in his base form, was noticing that Broly's power was rising very fast. But he doesn't pay no mind to it, as Broly was fighting, defending his father, and his father was fighting as well. His father's not a weakling either. I would say that especially since Paragus would probably be still in his prime age, I would say Paragus is easily a couple thousand or more. He can definitely take on a couple Cooler soldiers and Frieza's henchmen because they're not crazy strong. They're like a couple hundred to maybe like low 1,000 or less. So I do feel like Paragus could probably take multiple of them on and do pretty well, especially since he has his son there to defend them. So now Broly was fighting Cooler, but before Broly could, Paragus would actually shock Broly with a collar and tell him, no son, you cannot fight him. Now Cooler wouldn't really care about Broly, considering the fact that he's focusing on Goku. Because Goku doesn't have a choice, he would then transform into his Super Saiyan state, surprising Cooler. He's been waiting to see this. But then Cooler would showcase his fifth form. This would actually surprise Goku, as Cooler would then charge in and the two would clash back and forth. Now, Goku here is a lot more powerful than the original. I would say he is more powerful than the Cooler movie version of himself. He would actually kind of manhandle Cooler here and there, and this would actually give Cooler very desperate. As we know how the Frieza family works, when they get desperate, they'll do anything. So, he actually fires tons of death beams everywhere, right at Goku. Now, Goku would dodge these, Broly would slap some away, but one would actually hit Paragus, killing him. Paragus would pass away from the wounds. Broly would then see his father dead on the floor, and he would snap, grabbing his head, as Broly would transform into a Super Saiyan, making a massive ki beam into the air as he rose out, his eyes almost glowing red. And Goku was completely shocked at the power that Broly had. Now, Cooler was shitting himself at this point, as Broly would fly right past Goku and completely obliterate Cooler. He would be like a wild animal and he would shred Cooler in half. And then he would fire a massive mouth beam and completely kill him. Now, Broly was completely out of control, shooting beams and attacking everything in his path. Goku was still in Super Saiyan. He would try to stop him and make him calm down. But it wasn't enough, as Broly would then turn around and begin attacking Goku. Now, Goku is in a bit of a pickle here, because Broly, as of right now, is pretty much near his level, or very much so, stronger than he was. Goku doesn't really know what to do, but luckily, Goku knows that Broly is stronger than him, but Goku has technique in martial arts, so he's going to try everything that he can to maybe calm down Broly and try to knock some sense into him. So Goku's not going to give up on his friend. So Goku and Broly would clash back and forth. Goku would punch Broly with everything that he has, and it actually would leave some scratches on Broly, and it would stun him for just a split second. Broly was still coming at him, and Broly was only getting stronger. Goku was running out of options here. Goku has an idea. He would scream Solar Flare, and he would blind Broly. And then Goku would then fire up a full power Kamehameha and hit Broly with everything that he has. Now Broly would then scream and roar as it made a massive crater. As then Goku would then pant. The problem is that he's running out of options here. He's hoping that this will maybe slow down Broly. It does not. Broly was still in his Super Saiyan form, and Broly only gets stronger. Broly would then turn into his full power state. And then he would go in at Goku, and he would beat Goku senseless. Goku did not have nothing else that he could do. Goku would then yell Solar Flare once again and blind Broly. He's running out of options. He doesn't know what else to do, as he can't beat Broly like this. There's no way he can beat Broly. Not a chance. Broly's way too powerful. As Goku thinks, he's thinking about every option that he could do. He has one idea. One really stupid idea. He doesn't know what's going to happen. He doesn't have a choice. He remembers his Saiyan tail, and he remembers what Vegeta did when he created that moon. Goku thinks, well, maybe he can try to do that. Now, obviously, I know people in the comments are going to be going crazy. Oh, Goku can't do that. Oh, he only seen it like one time. True, but you can also say the same thing for Vegeta when he saw instant transmission, and he never learned how to do it, and he was able to do instant transmission. So, hush, people. So Goku would then struggle. Now, luckily, the Solar Flare was holding off Broly in time. Goku would then form a fake moon, and he would throw it into the air. He really hopes that this works. His tail would then begin to twitch as Goku would transform. But he was in a golden great ape. No Super Saiyan 4 people, not yet. He was in the golden great ape state. Now, this version of Goku is way more bigger buff. It's a 10 times boost to his Super Saiyan form. It's stronger than Super Saiyan. It's a stronger than Super Saiyan 3 multiplier. It's 500 times, not 400. Remember, Goku is in full control in this state, as he has controlled his Great Ape state. Goku was shocked that he's actually in a Super Saiyan in this form, and the power was beyond anything that he's ever felt before. But he doesn't have time to focus on this. He needs to take down Broly. Now, he hopes that this does not backfire because of the size difference. But he would then charge up a full power mouth blast as Broly completely regained consciousness. As Broly would then notice, like, what is this giant creature? He doesn't know what it is, but he's going to go attack it. He would then charge forward as Goku would then fire a full power mouth beam, using every ounce of strength that he had. It would hit Broly full force, and it would actually shock Broly at the power as he was not ready for it. And then a massive explosion would almost destroy the planet. It was so big. Goku would revert to base form, and he had zero energy left as he was on one knee. He luckily sees in the crater that Broly reverted to base form. He wasn't knocked out, and he wasn't gravely injured, but Broly would then get up and look around really confused as he didn't know what happened. But then he would run over to his friend Goku and make sure he's okay. Now, Goku would actually pass out. But then he would wake up about a day later, but he was still gravely injured, but he was able to regain consciousness. And he actually looks over and sees that Broly is burying his father, and he was upset. But then Goku tells Broly, can he help him to the healing chamber? And Broly agrees. Remember, Broly's not that gravely injured. He has some scratches, some bumps on him, but it's nothing like how he did to Goku. Goku barely won. And the only reason why Goku won is because he did a surprise attack on Broly. Broly didn't have time to guard or anything like that. Not to mention, Goku went from Super Saiyan level to stronger than Super Saiyan 3 within an instant, and he hit him full force. Broly wasn't prepared. He didn't have his guard up, or he was prepared or nothing. So, and it didn't knock out Broly. It didn't gravely injure Broly. It was just enough to knock him into his senses, and he reverted back to base form. That's the only thing that happened. Because if it did not work, Broly would have killed Goku. Goku does not stand a chance in a straight-up fist fight. Goku had to use brains over brawn. After Goku was healed in the chamber, he was in there for about an hour. Once he gets out of the chamber, he would then comfort Broly, and he would tell him, hey, let's head back to my planet. Broly, it's a lot more better there, the food is better there, and you'll be a lot more safe there. You'll like it at Earth. Broly doesn't know, as this is his home, but what home does he have now? His father's gone, his home is destroyed, so he agrees. Now luckily, the spaceship that Cooler used was able to be worked on, so it was workable. So luckily Goku uses that, and somehow he figures out how to go back to Earth, and then Goku would then arrive on Earth. Everybody was beyond happy to see Goku. Even Vegeta was there as well. He was already with the Z-Gang, everybody else was there. All the events while Goku was gone still happens. Now Trunks, he still does appear, but he does not appear to fight Frieza. He appears to just meet Goku and tell them about what's happening with the androids in the future and such. And that Goku passes away the heart virus. So Goku would walk out with Broly. Everybody would meet them. They'll be confused who Broly is, but Goku explains who he is and the whole story about Namek to Planet Vampa and who Broly is. Vegeta was shocked to hear about Paragus, as he remembers him from his father, but he does remember about another Saiyan. Now this surprises Vegeta that there is more Saiyans out there, and he does commend that Broly is really powerful. But then Goku would have the same exact meeting with Trunks. They would show off their Super Saiyan forms, and Trunks was actually surprised to see that Goku was actually a lot more stronger. Trunks was confused. This is, I would say, original timeline Trunks. He notices that Goku has a tail, and not to mention that Goku's with a random Saiyan that he's never seen before, and the fact that he's way, way, way more powerful than he was in the original. But Trunks is not going to ask questions, maybe it's for the good, but he would tell them about the androids. He would also tell Goku about the heart virus. And now everything leads up to that, and he does have the medicine to give Goku. So, within 3-year times, the androids will appear. Now Goku thinks, oh, the androids are going to be a cakewalk. Since he got Mr. Broly over here, they can definitely handle the androids, no problem. Now, Broly would then adapt to Earth. Now, I do feel like Broly would be living with Goku and Chi-Chi. As Broly doesn't really have anywhere else to live, he would not be staying in their home, but he would be living very close to that. I would say probably in like a house that Goku would help Broly build. And I would assume that Bulma would probably help them, because Bulma's like one of the richest people on the planet. She can easily be humane and build Broly a nice little hut or something like that, or help Broly have like a cave or something that Broly can live in. Broly completely adores Earth. He loves the nature. He loves how peaceful Earth is, the nature, everything. The water, the food. He is so happy here. Though he does wishes that his father was here, but he understands. Broly would actually become very good friends with Gohan, as Gohan was very similar to Broly. They both had very peaceful nature. They didn't really like fighting all that crazy much. So Gohan would actually make a lot of trips to go see Broly, and he would actually help Broly learn to read. He would actually help Broly speak better English and understand certain things. Now Goku would actually train with Piccolo, Gohan, and Broly. Piccolo and Goku would actually talk, and he would actually make Piccolo kind of train Broly, and Piccolo would. Him and Broly would actually become pretty good friends, because Broly and Piccolo are both quiet people. And Goku agrees that Piccolo definitely has the best meditation techniques, and he definitely has the best ki control out of everybody, and ki balance. So maybe he can help Broly control these uncontrollable power, and help Broly become a refined and controlled warrior. Piccolo would actually agree to that, as he thinks if we have any chance of beating the androids, we need to get as good as possible. So they all would train, and Goku would learn to master the Super Saiyan form even better, but he would help train his son and Broly, as Goku states that him and Broly have this amazing untapped potential, and he thinks that they can utilize that. They can defeat these androids no problem. Piccolo would agree, and Piccolo and Goku would actually help Broly, all while they're helping out Gohan as well. So, during the 3 years would pass, they are way more powerful than the original. Not to mention you got Broly with them, and Broly has done training for 3 years with Piccolo, Goku, and I would say Gohan. But Piccolo now has 2 masters who he actually learned with. Goku taught Broly everything that he knew about martial arts. He taught him key techniques. He taught him how to control, how to meditate, how to train, everything. And Piccolo taught Broly, I think, the more of the mental side, key control, how to control your power, your rage, everything else. So Broly is a perfect warrior right now. I do feel like Broly can control his Super Saiyan state. He can. Broly can access it's been 3 years of solid training. Broly can access the Super Saiyan state, not Legendary Super Saiyan. That's a completely different ballgame. But he can control the Super Saiyan power to a degree, and he can basically kind of focus in that form. Like, he's not just mindless and going crazy. He can aim that power at something. Now, Broly's a lot more mature, he's a lot more intelligent, and he's a lot more understanding. And he loves Earth, and he will help Goku and his friends do whatever they can to protect it. Now, Vegeta was royally pissed, because not the fact that Goku has Super Saiyan, and this other Saiyan even is stronger than Goku, and he has Super Saiyan 2? I mean, what's Vegeta gonna do? So Vegeta would then go to outer space to go train and do his own thing, where we all know he would unlock Super Saiyan on his own. Once when the androids arrive, shit is gonna hit the fan. Android 19 and Android 20. But then, before the fight would even begin, Goku's heart starts making an irregular beat. But Goku starts sweating, but he doesn't realize it just yet. But some things are about to really get into the video. Before the Z-Fighters would arrive, Broly was the only one to notice something really a little bit odd with Goku. He was sweating already, just from simple flying, and they just started. But they would pass that on, as then they would land at the meeting area that Trunks said the androids would turn up. And lo and behold, they appeared. Dr. Gero and Android 19 would appear, and they would be expecting these Z-Fighters. They would, of course, scan them, but they would notice that that brutish Saiyan was kind of new. And it wasn't in their database. But after some looking, they do see that, oh, they have followed this Saiyan before, but they weren't able to take his DNA and genetically make him into something. So, no, they do not have Broly's massive power or nothing like that, but these androids are stronger than the original because of Goku being stronger, and same with 18, 17, 16, and also Cell will be more powerful as well. But that's for later on. But now, of course, Goku would go first as he would turn Super Saiyan, and he would begin fighting Android 19. But he would be mopping the floor with this android, really having no issue at all. As the Z-Fighters were pretty cocky and confident, Tien himself was saying, wow, Goku's mopping the floor with this guy. Wow, this seems pretty easy. But Broly notices something, and Piccolo notices it too. He thinks, no, something's not right. It's true that Goku's slapping him around, but look, his attacks are not doing that much to him. And it seems like Goku's already getting out of breath. Not to mention, his power is starting to drop. They don't know what's happening, but before they do, craziness happens, because then Goku starts losing more and more power. He starts gasping for air, as then Android 19 would then go on the offensive, and he would begin to overpower Goku, even absorbing his Kamehameha, and then he would grab onto his mouth and he would begin absorbing his energy. Now Goku was on the losing end here, as he even reverted back to base form, and then he would throw him to the ground, and he then Goku realized that it's the heart fires, it finally got me. The Z-Fighters would also notice this too, that it was the heart fires. At a time like this, it would finally get him. So, before Android 19 would finish off Goku, Vegeta would run in and kick him to the side. Vegeta would stand there laughing and smirking, saying, take Kakarot and get him out of here. I'll handle these two androids by myself. Now, they think that Vegeta doesn't have much of a chance based on his power level in his base form, but Vegeta states that ever since Kakarot and this dumb brute of a Saiyan has surpassed me, I have been training like never before, and I will never be looked down upon again, as I am the prince of all Saiyans. I am the elite and number one. I am the legendary Super Saiyan. And then Vegeta would look at the android and say, are you ready for a power not seen in thousands of years? And he would then transform into Super Saiyan Vegeta, or Super Vegeta if you want. And he would very much overpower Android 19. Now, Vegeta in this What If is actually stronger since he's had more tougher opponents to go up against, and he also has a higher goal to reach. So he's actually been training more diligently and a lot more difficult than before, so he can keep up with Kakarot and even Broly. So Vegeta is actually a lot more powerful here, but he would easily mop the floor with Android 19, not much of an issue. Now, Android 20 would get away. JK, Dr. Gero. Dr. Gero would get away. Or Android 20 if you want, it's fine. Android 20 or Dr. Gero, pick in the comments. But Dr. Gero would get away. But luckily, Piccolo would be following him right up, and Piccolo would begin battling Dr. Gero. Dr. Gero does not have much of a chance against this version of Piccolo, since he's a lot more powerful than the original, because he's had an extra sparring partner, and that's called Broly. A lot of people diss on Piccolo's potential, but in here I'm going to use it right. Piccolo is way more powerful than he was in the original. Now, Piccolo would easily handle Android 20. But before he does, Dr. Gero would escape, as he pretty much lost both of his arms, but he would escape just in time as he would blind Piccolo and run away to his base, as he was then going to activate Android 17 and Android 18. Now, he would do so arriving. Now, right before the Z Fighters would arrive, it was way too late. Dr. Gero has done it. Android 17 and Android 18 was awakened, and then they would walk out of their pods. Now, of course, Dr. Gero would tell them, now we can go rule the world, and he would say, you obey me. Now, obviously, the androids would look at them and say, no, we don't owe you. Of course, we want to kill Goku, but you're not our boss. And they would actually kill him. Now, they would look at another pod, and they would see Android 16. And they're like, well, let him out. They could be an extra help. And they do so. So now Android 16 was let out. Now you got 3 rogue androids on the loose. The same battle would happen on the street, to where Vegeta, Trunks, and the others would try to battle these androids, but they would not have much of a stretch against them. This Android 17 and this Android 18, and even Android 16, is a lot more stronger than the original. I would say about 2 times more powerful. So they're a massive threat. A massive threat. Now, Vegeta would still get his arm broken and get kicked to the side. That would kind of destroy his pride really bad. Now, they did not realize, though, you had Broly. Remember, Broly's been in the background, but now he's going to go in and go fight. This Broly is powerful. By I mean powerful, he is extremely powerful, because he has been trained by Piccolo, Goku, and even Gohan. And he has learned to control his power. Not his legendary form, but he's getting close, but he can control his Super Saiyan state and even the Akari state. But he prefers the Super Saiyan since it's easier to get into. But base Broly would actually begin battling the androids. Now, of course, Android 18 would go up first. And, of course, she would actually start struggling against base Broly. And she was kind of confused. How powerful is this Saiyan? They have him in the database, but they didn't know that he was this powerful. As the little robot, Bug, that followed Goku only picked up Broly from when they first met. Because once when Broly started powering up, the power itself destroyed the little robot, but the data was already sent back. So they know that he was really powerful, but not this powerful. Now, Broly would transform into a Super Saiyan state, and then both androids would then attack Broly at the same time. This would actually give Broly a pretty decent fight. But Broly would start manhandling them. But the problem is these androids have infinite stamina and infinite energy. They can fight all day, all night long. Broly was starting to run out of gas, because he's battling these both androids, and 2 of them fighting perfectly in sync is a little bit to handle. And then they would tell Android 16 to get in the battle, but Android 16 doesn't do it. He was too busy holding a bird looking at nature, as he doesn't believe in battle, as he tells them, no, my battle is only for Son Goku, and that is it. And of course, he was waiting for Son Goku. Now, as Broly would hold off the androids, getting everybody to get away, especially Vegeta, Trunks would try to help out Broly as the two began fighting together, but Trunks does not have much of a chance against these androids, especially if Broly's having a little bit of trouble. Now, Broly was running out of steam very quickly, and he knows that he can't just sit here and fight them all day. Now, Broly would have to get back and think smart, because Broly didn't know that these guys had infinite stamina. I mean, nobody would have known. And not to mention that he cannot sense their energy, makes it a little bit more difficult to be able to track down and sense, because he can't sense them at all. And they are extremely fast. So, Broly would then shoot a massive ki beam down and hit all the androids, other than 16, who got out of the way, and he would fly off. Now, the androids would get out, and their clothes are pretty ruined. They would pretty much look around, and they were kind of worried that this Saiyan was already that strong. But Android 17 says, nah, look at him. He ran for the hightails. But that was a lot of fun, though. Now, Android 18 would complain that her clothes are ruined and that she needs new ones. They would go do some power shopping, destroying the city and such. Now, as for Goku, he was left at Master Roshi's house, where he was given the medicine and being cared for by Chi-Chi. The rest of the Z-Fighters would go there, other than Vegeta, who would be really pissed off flying away. Now, they don't know it, but somewhere around the world, there is a bug-like creature named Cell, and he is absorbing creatures and humans, slowly growing in power, as he is looking for Androids 17 and 18. As he tells himself, once when he absorbs those two, he will become the perfect
the androids find him. Now, during that meantime, most of the events would happen the exact same, including with Vegeta and the others. Now, this is when Cell would appear and he would nearly kill Piccolo. Now, if you also remember, Piccolo would still fuse with Kami, and then he would go to fight Android 17. I know I'm skipping over a lot, but pretty much most of the events would happen the same, so there's no point really going after each detailed event. Now, Piccolo would still fight Android 17, and it'll be a pretty dead-even battle. Maybe Piccolo would be a little bit stronger in this what-if, so he actually does have the slight upper hand, but I'm just going to say it's even. The exact same as the original. But now, Cell appears. And this is where he tricks Android 17 into attacking him, and he pretty much absorbs him. This is when Semi-Perfect Cell was born, and Android 18 was fearing for her life. Now, Android 16 would try to fight off Semi-Perfect Cell, he would get annihilated. Tien would risk his life to protect them as he would do the Tri-Beam on him, and it does hold him off for a little while. But now luckily Tien survives. Now this is when Vegeta and Trunks go to fight Cell. All those events happen the exact same, as Vegeta would still get Super Vegeta, or Ultra Super Saiyan, or Super Saiyan Grade 2, and he would still fight Cell, and he would still let Cell absorb Android 18, which I think was the dumbest thing in Dragon Ball, other than Goku giving Cell the Senzu Bean, and Cell would become Perfect Cell. Now, during this time, Trunks would then go into his ultra full power. He would fight Cell, but he would still lose. Now, how powerful is Cell? I'm just going to put it here that Cell is roughly pretty much the same power as he was in the original. Because the bot that followed Goku and Broly to follow the DNA and stuff like that was destroyed before it could take anything from Broly. So Cell is roughly around the same power level as the original. So I'm just going to say that he is as strong as the original Cell was, which is still scary. Now Goku would soon recover from the heart virus, which everybody's glad that he was able to. Luckily Trunks gave him the medicine. But now Goku knows that they cannot defeat them. But now Cell states that within 7 days, or was it 7 or 11 days? Let me know in the comments. That he's going to be holding the Cell Games. And that he wants the strongest fighters in the world to battle him. Now, most of the events would happen the same, with all of them going to Kami's Lookout to go do the Hyperbolic Time Chamber for a year each. Now, this is where a lot would change. Would Goku, remember, it can only fit 2 people at a time. Would Goku go with Gohan, or would he go with Broly? What would happen here is Goku would actually go in with Broly, and Gohan would go in with Piccolo, because if you remember, Piccolo went by himself. And Piccolo doesn't really need food to survive, he only needs water, so they can do that easily. So, it would actually be Gohan and Piccolo would go in there for a whole year, and then you would have Broly and Goku. Because Goku knows that Broly, his potential is so busted, he knows that his son is very powerful as well, and he knows that Piccolo will do a great job at teaching him, but he knows that Broly might be their best shot to beat Cell, if he can control that rampaging power that he has, which Goku fought before and nearly killed him. Now, They would spend a whole year inside the hyperbolic time chamber. Now, during this time, Goku would master his Super Saiyan, and he would actually help Broly do the same thing. Not his full power, not his legendary form, but his base Super Saiyan, he is able to teach him. Goku is amazed at Broly's potential and how high he can shoot up and how powerful he can become. This would actually make Goku more powerful, because if you think about it, Broly is roughly, I wouldn't say he's stronger than Goku. So Goku doesn't have to spend like half the year teaching him. Remember, he had to teach Gohan how to become a Super Saiyan and everything else before they started like the real training. Well, Goku can spend the whole entire year just straight up training with Broly. Now, I do feel like Goku would try to help Broly focus on his real power, which is the legendary form. It will be rough, very, very, very rough the first start. Goku would get his ass whooped, but Broly would start to learn how to control this power. Slowly, very slowly, he would start to learn. Now, he still does not have full control over it, but he knows who his friends are, and he knows what the enemy is. Goku taught Broly to be able to aim that rage towards one singular person, or one area. So that's what Broly can do now in his full power Super Saiyan form or legendary form. Now, how powerful are they when they return? When they walk out of the hyperbolic time chamber, Goku, I would say, is probably strong. He is most definitely stronger than his original. He's probably twice as strong as his original self, because he didn't have half the year teaching Gohan what to do. He just straight up fought Broly and, got beaten really bad a few times because of Broly, And Goku's also pushing himself because he's trying to keep up with Broly, because Broly's potential is insane. Now, we'll get into how strong Broly is when he goes to fight Cell. Now, Vegeta would go in with Trunks, Piccolo and Gohan would go in, and that's pretty much it. Now the rest of the days, they would relax and enjoy Earth for a little while, and then, and only then, they would go to fight Cell. Goku would go up first. As we all know why Goku went first, is because he wants everybody to see how Cell fights and everything. Goku would actually do a lot better against Cell. And by being better, he's not as strong as Perfect Cell, but he's really close, I would say, to Perfect Cell. He would, I would say he's a little bit weaker than Perfect Cell, alongside the fact that Cell has more abilities and such that Goku does not have. But Goku wasn't trying to beat him, he was trying to let everybody see all of his cards on the table. Now, pretty much everybody's seen what Cell can do. Especially, Cell had to go full power against Goku, and he overpowered Goku. Goku quit, which shocked everybody that he actually just quit. But Goku says, there's no point, because I don't have a chance against him. But I think that Broly should go up next. Now, by the way, a lot of people are asking, well, how strong is Gohan? Gohan is still extremely powerful. He's not as powerful as his original self, but he has learned to master Super Saiyan, as I feel like with Piccolo and mastering Ki control, I feel like Gohan could do it easily. And you know what? For what purposes, you can say that Goku talked to Piccolo beforehand, and he says, try to help Gohan become a Super Saiyan, and try to help him master it. Which I feel like Piccolo, with Kami's knowledge and everything else, I think he'll be able to do it. I'm pretty sure he'd be able to. I mean, Piccolo has the minds of two other Namekians in him, so he should be able to help Gohan. But now, Gohan is a little bit weaker than his original self, which, that's still fine. I would say he's as strong as Goku was in the original, which is a little bit weaker than Gohan. Now, Broly, oh man. Broly, I would say in his base form, and I'm not kidding here, and I don't think y'all can disagree with me here, it's Broly. He went from getting slapped around by Vegeta in his base form to being able to fight Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta. This version of Broly, his base form itself is as strong as, I would probably say, Super Saiyan Gohan. His base form is as strong as Super Saiyan Gohan. That's not far-fetched either. Now, Broly would turn into his Super Saiyan form, and he would battle Cell. Now, Broly would easily overpower Cell. It's a cakewalk. Cell would be terrified. Now, Broly would do a full power Mouth Beam Blast, and it would actually hit Cell full force. It would almost completely wipe out Cell. It only left one Cell left, which is why Cell came back, and then he became Super Perfect Cell. Now, he would actually begin to fight back against Broly and do pretty well, as Broly was running out out of energy. But now this is when Goku says, Broly, you need to let go and you need to go crazy. Broly would turn into his full power Super Saiyan. And holy dear God, he is so powerful that Cell has no chance against Broly. Broly's ripping him apart. Broly's just ripping limbs off like it's paper. Cell is try to do a solar flare, and which he was able to accomplish that. Everybody else seen it coming, but Broly's blinding rage, so he doesn't care. But Broly was blinded, and then Cell begins to expand, and he begins to grow. Cell was going to blow himself up as he cannot defeat Broly. Now, Broly was going to attack them, but Goku says to stop. As Broly would shrink down back into Super Saiyan form, Cell would state that there's nothing that you can do now. If you even touch me, I'm going to explode. But Broly feels like he failed, as there's nothing that they could do. But Goku knows what to do. He tells all of his friends goodbye, as he would then go over to Cell. Now, a lot of you guys are about to say, how is Goku able to do this? He doesn't have instant transmission. Hold on. You'll see what I'm about to do. And this is for plot-induced reasons, okay? So relax. Relax. What would happen here is Goku would actually form a ki shield around them. And Goku would actually use his energy to fly them into the air. Yeah, I know, guys, be quiet, okay? It's for what purposes, enjoy it. And I feel like it's not impossible if Goku can make like a ki shield around himself. He technically did in Dragon Ball Super, so why can't he do it here? It's also cool. They would surround him and Cell as Goku would fly far out into space, as far as he can go. And as fast as he can. Now remember, Goku's faster than light, hundreds, thousand times faster than light. You know, even as early as Dragon Ball, you had people able to use moves that can hit the moon in a couple seconds, which is faster than light. So Goku nowadays, he's 100 million times faster than light. He would fly far out into space as he would then blow up with Cell. And that was the end. Or was it? Broly was horrid that was the end. But then Cell would reappear again. Now, I would say, though, that it would take Cell longer to reappear because he doesn't have instant transmission. But Cell can easily fly back, as I don't think Cell needs oxygen to breathe, as he has Frieza's genetics. I don't really think he needs oxygen to breathe, or food or anything. He can just drain life force anyway. Now, he would then once return, as you can call him Super Perfect Cell? Or you can call him Ultra Perfect... How about we call him Ultra Perfect Cell? I feel like that's the best form name. Ultra Perfect Cell. Now, he was thankful that Goku actually did this, as he's even stronger than before. I would say in this version, he is stronger than... definitely stronger than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. But now Broly knows that he has to destroy every last cell. Now, I'm also going to say this. During the rage of seeing his father die, Gohan would snap himself and turn into a Super Saiyan 2. Now you have Super Saiyan 2 Gohan plus a legendary Super Saiyan Broly fighting Cell. But even if with Cell's new power-up on top of power-up, it is not enough to defeat Broly. Broly is way too powerful. Especially now that he is pissed because Goku just died. So he's going all out against Cell. And Gohan would tell Broly, we need to completely destroy every single cell of him. So Cell would have no other choice. He would have to fire a Kamehameha. And then there would be a beam struggle, which Gohan would be struggling against Cell. But then Broly would land down and fire a full power beam. It would easily overlap Cell's Kamehameha and completely obliterate him. Cell was gone. Now, once when it was all over, they would be on Kami's lookout to use the Dragon Balls to bring Goku back. But Goku would actually tell them that, hey guys, I don't want to come back because it seems like every time that I do, there's always somebody that wants to come after me. So maybe it's for the best. Obviously, nobody wants to believe that. They're like, nah, come on, you got to come back. And he's like, nah, I'll be fine. Besides, you guys have Broly, who's so much more powerful than me anyways. He can beat anybody. And you even have my son that surpassed me now, like he's. And then he would say goodbye to everybody and he would be gone. Now, obviously, we know that in the Buu Saga, that would all change. Very much change. So, after that, I feel like Broly would definitely go back to living as usual. He would. I would definitely feel like he would be living, obviously, near Chi-Chi and Goku's house, as he has his own little place. He would definitely be close with Gohan, because if you remember, Gohan and Broly are very similar, and they're a peaceful nature, but then when they're angry, they have explosive power. It's really cool how they're so similar. They would just be living life together and doing normal things. Now, I feel like would Gohan just really stop his training to be, just kind of like a bookworm? Honestly, no. I do feel like Gohan would keep his training up a little bit because, number one, he has Broly. Broly gives him motivation. Broly would tell him, your father would want you to keep your training up so a person like Cell can never hurt us again. Which Gohan would agree with that. And I feel like Chi-Chi would agree, though Gohan would make sure his studies is absolutely the first thing. But remember, in the Dragon Ball Super movie, Gohan literally said, and this is what Piccolo said too, is crazy, he just has to do a little bit of training here and there, and he will not get rusty and he can keep his power level. Now, I feel like Gohan would do a little bit more training than that. So Gohan would be getting a little bit stronger here and there. So by the time the Buu Saga comes around, Gohan is definitely not a slouch. I would probably say he's stronger than Goku and Vegeta is by a little margin at the Buu Saga, and he can fully control Super Saiyan 2 without a problem. It took him like forever to transform into it, but he can transform Super 2 into a burst and without an issue. Now, as for Broly, at the start of the Buu Saga, Broly has still kept his training up. He's lived a peaceful life. He still kept his training up. He trains with Gohan here and there. And Broly is definitely a lot more powerful than he was in the original. He is, even his base form, I would say now, is as strong as Cell, or stronger, easily. And I don't think you guys can fight me on that. But Broly's not really been fought to like push his limit anytime soon since the Cell arc happened. So I think it's a pretty reasonable thing that Broly in the Cell arc, he was as powerful as Super Saiyan Gohan or Super Saiyan Goku, but now in the Buu Saga, which is 7 years later, he's as powerful as Cell or Super Saiyan 2 Gohan in his base form. Now, I feel like during these 7 years, Broly would actually train with Gohan and would train with Piccolo a lot too, since Piccolo has nowhere else to go anyway. And he would actually start learning to control his legendary Super Saiyan form. He would start learning it better and better and better as the years go by, to where he does have full control over it, but he has to keep a lot of attention on his rage so it doesn't overwhelm him in battle. But he's getting there. He's learning to master this power. And once when Broly masters his power, it's over for everybody, really. Now, 7 years has passed. Now, before the Buu arc begins, we would have a little Broly arc. Now, Broly was still living out in peace near Son Goku's house, but he has his own cave house area that they built for him and that he's happily there. Broly would do his typical hunting and things like that. Now that Goku was gone, Broly understands that he needs to protect the planet as much as he can. And Broly has been learning to control his legendary power, but still a long way to go before he can do it. Now during that time, he would see a spaceship arrive, but he wouldn't pay too much attention to it. But now, it was Chile and Lemo. They were actually looking for the Dragon Balls because they actually wanted to wish Frieza back. Now, the reason why I decided to do this is because I wanted Chi-Lai to be in Broly's life earlier, just because I really like them as a couple and they're really cute together. So, during that time as they try to get the Dragon Balls, Broly would stop them. Now, after they would meet Broly, they would decide that it's not really worth it to try and get the fame and the glory for reviving Frieza, since this Broly guy is so much more stronger than Frieza was. It doesn't matter anyway if they tried bringing him back. And Broly would state that, yeah, there's a man who were way stronger since then that killed Frieza. So it still kind of makes sense that Chi-Lai and Lemo probably would not want to go forward with it. Or you could even say that they were looking for a planet to trade on, and that they landed on Earth because it's a very rich planet. It could be tons of those things, or for research, or for anything. So Chi-Lai and Lemo would actually stay on the planet because it's a really rich environment, it's really beautiful, and they does become friends with Broly. Now Broly's not as less intelligent, or unintelligent, or less innocent and stuff like that. He is a more rounded character. He's a bit more mature. He's obviously not the brightest tool, or he's not the sharpest tool in the shed, but he's not an idiot like he was in the movie, and he wasn't childlike. He's a lot more mature, he's more serious, so he would definitely get along with Chi-Lai and Lemo very well. Now, as 7 years would go by, onto the Buu Saga, most of the events would happen the exact same. The only thing is Gohan would actually still be around the same strength that he was when he fought Cell, albeit a little bit stronger.
Now, what I mean by that is he's stronger than his original self would have been in the Cell Saga. The reason why is because Gohan, even he said himself in the Dragon Ball Super, I've said this a lot of times, he can just do training here and there, not all the time, and he will not ever get rusty. He can stay at the level of power, which is absurd. But if he does stop training altogether, his power level quickly drops. But Gohan can just train for a couple days to a couple months, and he can shoot his power up to Super Saiyan Blue level. Like, it makes no sense how they did Gohan. But Gohan, I would say, would do a bit more training than usual to keep his power level. So his power level is rising at a really good pace. And onto Vegeta as well. Vegeta is at around the same power level as I would probably say in the original, maybe a little bit higher because he has Broly and other competition. But other than that, he doesn't really care. Now, as for, per se, Vegeta's absolute anger towards Goku and that he's surpassed by him, I would say that he wasn't as furious. He's obviously pissed because he got surpassed by Goku. And then Broly was stronger than him. But I would say that he's already accepting the fact that Broly's a freak of nature. Because Broly, Vegeta even says that he's not a normal Saiyan. He's literally like a green, bulky monster. So he's like a true Super Saiyan. So Vegeta respects that. And he understands that Broly's a freak of fucking nature. So he's not really going to mess around with that. But he will try to surpass Broly because that's how he is. And that he's the Prince of all Saiyans. So he will try to surpass anything in his way. But now, on to Goten's around the same. Trunks, he's a kid. They're both kids, are around the exact same, albeit maybe a little bit higher. Now, during these 7 years, I do feel like Broly and Chi-Lai would fall in love and they would have a child. Now, you can name the child down in the comments down below. Whatever you want to name the child, name whatever you wish. So all in the comments down below. But the child will be irrelevant in the what if. But I'm just saying that Broly does have a little family. And Lemo does live with them, kind of like an uncle in certain ways. Or your grandfather, I guess you can say. Now, during this time, Goku would still wish for the 24 hours to be brought back, just so he can see his friends and family, and even fight in the tournament. Because why not? Now, Vegeta would actually still be, put together to fight him. Now, Vegeta's not as rough and prideful as he was. He kind of settled down a little bit because he's not all completely in Goku's shadow. I still feel like he does have that evil intent inside of him, and he's still kind of hatred towards Goku, but not as much as the original. But it's still there, definitely. Now, a Supreme Guy and Kibito Kai would still appear. Supreme Kai and Kibito Kai would still appear. Sorry about that. And they would still tell the others about Boo and everything else. Babidi, everybody else was still there. So they would go to Babidi's ship to go figure out what the hell is going on. Now, once when they arrive there, they're going to have to fight Pui Pui, Yakon, and Deborah is in the way. Now, most of the events would happen the same. Everything happens the same, albeit just Broly's there. Vegeta will still beat Pui Pui, Goku will still beat Yakon. That happens the same. Now, as for Deborah, Gohan would actually be battling Deborah. Now, in this what if, Gohan is a lot more stronger than the original. Way more powerful. He's more stronger than his original self was. So he would be able to beat Deborah without too much of a crazy issue, especially in Super Saiyan 2. I do feel like Gohan would be able to unlock that power after 7 straight years of training, intense training sometimes with Piccolo or Broly. He would be able to do it. Now, as for Boo, would Vegeta still get his Majin control? Would he still be taken over? That's a lot of good questions. I would say yes. Vegeta would still want to do that because, if you remember, Vegeta still has that hatred towards Goku and wants to surpass him. So Vegeta will allow himself to be taken over because he knows that the magic will make him even stronger to surpass Goku. Now, Goku would still battle Vegeta. They would both be in Super Saiyan 2, and they would still battle in the Wasteland the exact same. Albeit that Goku was actually able to keep up with Vegeta during this battle, but that's for a later reason why. Now, as for Broly during this time, Broly would actually try to stop Babidi along with the Supreme Kai, but Babidi had magic that really helped out. Now, this is where a lot of things will be changing. Boo was born. As during the fight, Goku was still knocked out by Vegeta, and Vegeta would go to fight Fat Boo. Now, Broly during this time is insanely powerful. Like, his power level is ridiculous. He's been off and on training for 7 years. He still trains regularly, but he's not training for a goal because it's been so peaceful. And he's also settled down more now that he has a child and a wife, so he's definitely more relaxed. But even that, though, for 7 years, Broly has matured a lot, and he is so OP. So when Fat Boo appears, Majin Vegeta will tell him that this is his fight. Broly, as a Saiyan, will respect that, and he understands. Though he tells him that you don't have a chance against this pink blob. Vegeta knows that, and he's like, no, you don't know what I'm capable of, blah, 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 get out of my face, blah, blah, get out of here. So Broly would take the others and leave. Now, remember, they're not turned into stone, because the board not have a chance to turn Piccolo and Krillin and the other guys into stone. So, they would all just fly away. Vegeta would still fight Fat Boo. The same fight would go down, the exact same as the original, albeit Majin Vegeta might be a little bit stronger, but that doesn't really matter, as Fat Boo was still overpowering him. Now, Vegeta would still blow himself up. That would still happen. Broly would notice that, and Boo would still come back, and he would be alive and dancing, happy, because it didn't kill him. Babidi would still run off with him to go destroy planets and eat people with candy, all that stuff. Now, Goku, he would still be waking up, and he would go meet up with the rest of the gang to recuperate and kind of regroup, figure out what to do. Now, there's a problem. Broly says, I'll go fight him myself and I'll end this. Remember, Broly's still a little bit hot-headed because, though he did not like Vegeta, he does respect him. Not to mention, Fat Boo almost, killed Gohan. Because, I forgot to mention, that after Gohan fought Dabura, he still fought Fat Boo and lost miserably. So, Fat Boo nearly killed him. Luckily, Supreme Kai saved him, but still, he was pissed about that. He was pissed that Boo was destroying his planet, as Broly does have a deep connection with his planet. Broly loves Earth. He has a deep connection with it. He respects the land, the water, life, and nature. And he does respect every human being. He has a lot of humanity. So after seeing these innocent people and children else be eaten alive by Boo, this is going to drive him fucking insane. So Broly would then instantly go into his legendary Super Saiyan form and fly in to go kill Fat Boo without mercy. Now, he would do so. He would fly in and start fighting Fat Boo. Fat Boo has no chance against Broly. I mean, zero. Broly is so powerful, and with his rage is not helping. He would be completely torturing Boo. But this is his downfall. He lets his guard down. Broly is a freight train. He runs at you. Broly, as a character, never has any, skills or any kind of, crazy custom martial arts or moves or anything like that. He just charges in and is like a brawler, and he is just an animal. He'll just come at you and tear you apart. That's what he's doing to Boo. But if you guys remember, Boo's really, really sneaky. Very, very cunning. When there's somebody that's stronger than him, he will do everything he can to survive. And that's what he does. A small piece of Boo would cover Broly. And yes, Broly at this point would actually still revert back to his base form because he's still confused about what's happening, and Boo would absorb him. Now, this version of Boo's a little bit scary. I'm going to try to put the best picture that I can on the screen of what a legendary Saiyan Broly Majin would look like. He is just buff, mean, and no joke, and thorough, and his power level is off the charts. Now, is Majin Buu get the complete power of Broly? No. He did not absorb Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. He absorbed, I would say, in the mix of Super Saiyan and base Broly. But that's plenty of enough power as is. Even Super Saiyan Broly, I would say, is stronger than Buuhan. Stronger than Buuhan. Not to mention the legendary form. The reason why only Fat Boo survived was because Broly was torturing him because he's sadistic in his legendary form. But now Goku would arrive and see what happened. As Boo would actually thank Goku, and he has all of Broly's memories. He knows everybody. And I would say that now he has the ultimate power, and he would actually completely destroy Babidi because he doesn't see a need for him. Now, is Boo actually completely evil? No, actually. Broly is pure heart and very innocent. Mixing with Fat Boo, who wasn't truly evil. He did have some evil in his heart, as we all know, but he wasn't not completely evil. He would actually be a bit more nicer than usual, but he still wants to eat people, and he's still misguided because of Babidi and what he said. And and with that Saiyan mindset, he wants to battle, so he'll start fighting Goku. Super Saiyan 2 Goku, Zero chance. He has no chance against like a Buhan level character, or even more. Now Goku would then smirk, and he still had his tail. Goku would state that, I've kept this as a secret, and even against my fight against Vegeta, I never wanted to show him this power, because I know if I did, it would destroy his pride entirely. And, not to mention, this power would drain my time in the other world to be able to stay on Earth for a very short duration. And he said that during this time, I even found a level past Super Saiyan 2. And he would say the Ascended level, Super Saiyan 3. But once when I found this power, the energy draining was so enormous, I didn't feel like it was worth it. So he decided to go back to his Saiyan roots. He decided to go back and see his Saiyan heritage. He decided to go back and look at the answer that's been right in front of him this entire time. The Uzaru state. Goku remembers when he fought Broly, he didn't have a chance. But he was able to transform into an Uzaru and a Super Saiyan at the same time. And he feels like he was so close to something, a power that was so enormous, but he wasn't able to get there. He wasn't able to get there. He didn't have the power. He didn't have the durability. He didn't have the mental struggle to do that. It was just the heat of the moment. But after 7 years in the other world, training religiously for his mental state, Goku was able to control his Uzaru state. And during this time, mix it with a Super Saiyan. And Goku says, and then I found something even bigger. Reaching deep within myself, finding a power that I never thought was possible. The ultimate Super Saiyan. The final level of a Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan 4. Goku would then scream, as he would then transform into a Super Saiyan 4. This would shock Broly? Post in the comment down below what you would call a Boo and Broly fusion. I guess it's I guess it's Buri or Broly. Anyway, Goku and his power level is so ridiculous that he is way stronger than Buhan. Way stronger. I'm even gonna say, fight me in the comments, that he is stronger than Vegito. That's saying something. Now Goku would fly in and completely demolish Broly. Post in the comment down below a better name for that, please. And now during that time, Goku would easily dominate him in the fight. There's no chance. Now he was running out of options. So what is he going to do? There's not much that he can do against this version of Goku. He never knew that Goku was this strong. So, like, what is he going to do? But now Goku has an idea. He thinks, well, there is one way I might be able to get Broly out. Is if he goes in Boo. And now it's the same thing that Vegito did. He would form a ki barrier around himself and let himself get absorbed. Now during this time, he would fly around and he would find Broly and Fat Boo. Something deep within Goku tells him that Fat Boo was not a bad guy. And why is he trapped in here? There's like something holding him back? So that's what he'll do. He would free Broly and Fat Boo. Now during this time, pretty much Kid Buu would be born because the good was removed. So now that Kid Buu was born, he would try to blow up the planet. But this is Super Saiyan 4 Goku we're talking about. He would completely annihilate Kid Buu with a full power Kamehameha because he knows that he cannot waste time on this monster and that he almost blew up the planet right then and there. So he would charge a full power Kamehameha and completely obliterate Buu, or Kid Buu. Now during this time, everything was fixed and Gohan was actually healed. Now during this time, Elder Kai says that I can actually train you to unlock your potential, but that will take longer. Gohan understands that, and he will. Now, during this time, Goku would still run out of his hours, and he would have to go back to the other world for now. Broly would be awakened, be back with his family, everything was alright. Now, they would actually use the Dragon Balls to wish back everybody that Buu was killed, including Vegeta. So Vegeta was brought back, and he did want to have a final say with Goku. Before he was actually brought back, he was in pretty much hell, and Goku would go visit him. Now, Vegeta would have, kind of a warrior respect moment with Goku, saying, you are number one, especially this power that you did. He was pissed that Goku never showed him the power, but he says that there is no way I can surpass you now, they're saying. You are the best. But now Vegeta would still be brought back, he would spend time with Bulma and his family. Chi-Chi was distraught that Goku still could not come back, but maybe one day. Now, during this time, far off into space, a purple cat has awakened. It was none other than Beerus himself. most of the what if would happen pretty much the same, as Beerus would still have to dream about fighting a Super Saiyan God. He would talk to the Oracle Fish about it, and then talk to Whis. He wants to know what the Saiyans have been up to, as he thinks that all of them are pretty much extinct, right? Now Whis exclaimed that there actually is a few left that are alive, and so Beerus would obviously get the same story about how Goku killed Frieza. All that happens the same. Now Beerus says, okay, well, so Frieza's dead. And he's like, oh yeah, Frieza's very much dead, alongside his brother and everybody else. Beerus is like, it doesn't matter anyway, because I was going to kill Frieza to begin with, so not like it really matters. Now Goku would actually be on Earth, not at King Kai's, and he would actually be training, doing his normal thing near his home. Now Beerus would obviously make his way to go meet the Saiyan that actually killed Frieza, and he would meet with Goku. Now, while Goku was by himself, he actually would meet Beerus, while all the other Z Fighters and everybody else was actually at Bulma's party. Goku was going to make his way there. Now, first things first, Beerus obviously meets the Saiyan, he checks him out, he sees, okay, yeah, you do have the power to kill Frieza, but I want to see that Super Saiyan thing that you got. Obviously, Goku doesn't know who he is, he wonders, who is this being? I mean, he's immensely strong, he can feel like the pressure of him, not the ki. Beerus explains that he is the god of destruction of Universe 7, and that he is the most powerful being in the universe, and he's looking for a Super Saiyan god. Goku doesn't know what that is, but Goku says, why don't we have a spar, and I can show you what I got, since you came all the way over here. Beerus would agree, as he was actually interested to see the Saiyan's power. Goku would, of course, showcase his Super Saiyan, which Beerus is pretty impressed by. He would then show Super Saiyan 2, and then he says, but now I have a power beyond this, but he says, I want to hold off on it real quick, because I want to show you, because remember, Goku was cocky, he think that Super Saiyan 2 could take him. Beerus was like, no, it's fine, come on at me. Goku doesn't have any chance against Beerus here. Goku was slapped around, and Beerus says, I want to see your full power. Please, show me. Goku says, fine, I'll show you the Ultimate Saiyan power. Now, Goku would actually transform into a Super Saiyan 4. Now, this would actually surprise Beerus a little bit, as he was surprised that mortals can possess this much power. Remember, Goku here is thousands upon thousands and thousands of times stronger than he was in the original. Because, number one, he's stronger, and number two, he's not in Super Saiyan 3, he's in Super Saiyan 4, which is leagues beyond stronger than Super Saiyan 3. Now, Goku here would actually give Beerus a pretty meh fight. Obviously, Goku was not even close to as powerful as he would have been as a god of destruction. Not even close. But he would fare a lot better against Beerus. I would say probably taking another couple more hits from Beerus, but he would still be knocked out. Now, the Z Fighters do sense a high power nearby, and then it was gone. They thought it was weird. Broly did as well. Now, Beerus would still show up at Bulma's party. Vegeta was completely terrified of Beerus. Broly was confused, but Beerus would be interested in Broly. He can sense so much raw power inside of Broly. This really intrigued him, but he'll save on that for later because he sees food. Now, would he still get upset? I'm going to say yes, because Goten and Trunks would still, Beerus would still have the pudding in his hand, and they would be playing ball and it would hit out of his hand. Or something else stupid would happen and he would get really upset. He would still easily demolish the Z Fighters. Vegeta would try to fight him. Even as Super Saiyan 2, he would still slap Bulma. Vegeta would get enraged. Beerus is way too powerful for Vegeta. Now, during this time, Broly would actually go in and battle Beerus. This is where stuff will be changing. Very fast will Beerus be impressed, because Broly would then go into his Super Saiyan form, going at full power. Now, he wasn't as strong as Super Saiyan 4 Goku yet, but as the fight continues on, Beerus enrages him to where Broly would showcase his legendary Super Saiyan power, or his legendary Super Saiyan. Now, as this happened, Beerus was actually impressed. Broly's power was skyrocketing, and it was just getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Now, as Broly was fighting Beerus up in the sky, Goku arrives and said, hey, I need to figure out a way to help Broly, but I can't even fight him as a Super Saiyan 4. So they would actually use the Dragon Balls, which both Broly and Beerus would stop to stare for a second, as Goku would ask him, how can he become a Super Saiyan God? Now, they would claim that you need 6 total Saiyans, or 5, to give you your energy, but it's 6 in total, including Goku, to give you your energy to become the Super Saiyan God. Well, Beerus says, okay, then I want that Saiyan here and everybody else to give Goku enough energy to become a Super Saiyan God. Because that's what he wants to fight to begin with. But he doesn't want to keep on fighting Broly. But they would do the good old-fashioned ritual, and Goku becomes a Super Saiyan God. This version of Goku is way more powerful as a Super Saiyan God than the original. I would even say, fight me for it if you want, he is, I would say, at Super Saiyan Blue level when Goku fought Frieza, which is actually a lot more powerful than when he fought Beerus. He's a lot more stronger, but obviously he's not on Beerus' level. But now this would be Goku, a Super Saiyan God, would then fight Beerus, and would give Beerus a pretty fun fight. But now their fight would continue up in space, which most of the fighting would happen the exact same. But now when Goku starts to lose, Broly would come in. Now you have Super Saiyan God Goku and a legendary Super Saiyan Broly at the same time fighting Beerus, double teaming on him. Now, Beerus would have a little bit of trouble fighting both of them, but he would just showcase more of his raw power, and he would then overwhelm both the Saiyans. Goku at this time would lose his Super Saiyan God power, but he wasn't giving up. Goku would burst into Super Saiyan as that's how much energy he has left. Broly was the same as he burned out all of his energy, and they would push Beerus for one final attack. But then, they would fall unconscious and still lose. Now, a lot of you guys are thinking, wait a minute, why are you nerfing Broly? Broly went from not even being able to beat a base Vegeta to then being able to fight a Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta. That doesn't make any sense. Yes, Broly is far stronger than Super Saiyan God Goku in his legendary Super Saiyan state when he's full power. But that doesn't mean that he's stronger than Beerus as of right now. Beerus, in terms of in the manga right now, is still insanely OP. Now, does that mean that Broly could have beaten Beerus if the fight kept on dragging on? Yes. I do feel like as the fight kept on going on, Broly would have kept on rising in power, and he would have sooner or later overpowered Beerus. But we don't even know how powerful Beerus is currently, as we've never seen his full power. We do know that he is one of the top dogs, and he's one of the strongest gods of destruction currently. But now, Beerus was beyond satisfied. He would then be faking that he's tired, and which he probably was a little bit, and he would leave with a bunch of food and go back to his planet. Now, during this time, Goku, Vegeta, and Broly. Whis would take them in and train them. Now, Whis was pretty interested in Broly because of his raw power, but it was very uncontrolled. So Broly would kind of have his own training. Or maybe Whis states that maybe God Ki can help Broly for the better. He thinks that might be the better idea. So all three of them would actually be trained under Whis to learn God Ki, while Beerus is obviously falling asleep taking a nap. Now, would the Universe 6 arc happen? Yes. Now, would also the Frieza arc happen? Yes. Frieza would still be revived, and Frieza would also be put together, and he would know that he would have to train. Especially since they said that there's even stronger Saiyans too. Frieza would still train for 3 to 4 months to become Golden Frieza. Now, Broly would not go to Earth because he knows that Goku and Vegeta can handle it. As Whis states, that might not be the best idea because of your raw anger. But they would go anyway because Beerus wants to go see. And also because Bulma showed us Sunday. So Goku would still fight Frieza the same exact way. It's turning Super Saiyan Blue. Vegeta has Super Saiyan Blue. And Broly is base form standing in the background. He's standing next to Beerus, as Beerus does not want Broly to fight unless it's really needed, because he doesn't want Broly going apeshit. So now, as for Frieza, before Frieza would blow up the planet, Broly would actually be the one to come in and actually kill him before he could. So, either way, Frieza was dead. So once Frieza's gone, almost a year later, the Universe 6 arc happens. Most of the events happen the same. The only thing is that Broly is in there. Now, I do feel like Broly would go up first against the guy who I think we all need to go up against, is Hit. Now, would Hit be able to beat Broly? I don't think so. But I am going to throw out there that Hit does have high adaptability, and Broly has high adaptability. But that's the weird thing, because Hit might be able to get... If Hit can hit Broly in the beginning and surprise him with his time skip, he could be able to beat him. But I don't feel like that would happen. I feel like Vegeta would want to fight him first, and Vegeta would still lose. But now, when Goku goes, he would still, well, lose. Goku would still obviously use his Kaioken times 10 on top of the Super Saiyan Blue, because Beerus is using Broly as like his trump card, because he knows that Broly is far stronger than Goku and Vegeta. So Broly would then come up. Hit was already tired from fighting Goku. On top of Broly knowing how Hit fights now, because he's seen Hit fight 2 times, Goku wasn't worried, since he said that Hit put out all the chips on the table to fight him, and he still lost. Well, Goku still lost. But if the fight kept on dragging on, Goku could have potentially won. But he didn't care because Broly's there. So once when Broly fight Hit, it would actually be a pretty interesting battle. But Hit does not have any chance against this version of Broly here. Broly would easily outspeed his time skip ability and knock him out the ring. Now obviously Champa and Beerus will start going at it, but then Zeno would appear. The same instance would happen to where Goku befriends Zeno, and all that would happen the exact same. Now once when the Universe 6 arc ends, the Goku Black arc begins. And that is it for this What If, you guys.